Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
Hey Fitheads, today we're bringing you a very special episode. Meaning I don't know what that means actually. We're just doing something different this time, see if you like it.
Wait, I clapped in the middle of your intro. Do it again.
Nope, that's it, we're keeping it. They signed up for this. What is this, episode 42, 43? They know what they're getting.
Episode 40. So what are we doing today, Spags?
We're going to talk about New Year's. This is our New Year's episode, so, oh no. This is going to happen the entire episode. If you're not watching on YouTube, step on over to the video version to see a strobe light dance party throughout all of this, because my light in my new gym is on a timer.
It's on a timer or is on a motion thing?
Or, sorry, it's sensor, and then it times out. Never mind. Anyway.
So if you're like doing a plank or whatever, if like what, maybe that's a good one. Okay, I already got one for you. Do a plank so long that your motion light timer goes off.
90-second plank. I can handle that. Come on.
That's okay.
Okay, so we just want to chat about New Year's resolutions. January is the time for health and fitness. It's when everybody's like, ooh, let me start getting healthy again. Probably because you just fell off the wagon for Christmas. And
did you fall off the wagon for Christmas?
No, of course not. I mean, I'm still on the wagon and it's very muscular. What about you?
I fell off the wagon about as hard as you can. To be fair, I had someone making me food and a bucket of cookies at my disposal at all time. And she was like, yeah, I tried to make a batch of snickerdoodle cookies and they didn't rise right. So I got more of the cookie dough. I tried it again, and that second batch didn't rise right. And I couldn't figure it out. And so then I got the third round, and I figured it out. I didn't put enough baking powder or something or other, whatever, into it. And so anyway, all three, they're all in the bucket. If you need, it's a bucket full of snickerdoodles. It was like a legit trash can, full size trash can of snickerdoodle cookies. And I was like, okay, that's how it is. Okay, great. And then I was eating them like chips.
But every once in a while, you get a rise one, and then the rest of them are.
Yeah, and then that one was a real treat. I gotta tell you, I was like, ooh, what is this? A regular risen snickerdoodle.
I want to see you do a chip video with the eating the snickerdoodles to the beat.
Cookie chip. I fell off the wagon pretty hard, but
that was just like for the Christmas weekend or whatever, or like, are you still just rolling down the hill after falling off the wagon?
I mean, that was definitely the Christmas spirit, time, day frame. But that was one of my revolutions. Is it has to do with eating. Should I go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure, go.
I had one that was like, see, it's hard because there's a way, first of all, like there's a way to like make goals that's like a better version. Like you don't say like, I want to work out. You say like, I want to work out 5 days a week.
Be very specific about your goals.
Yeah, it's called SMART goals.
Okay.
SMART meaning measurable, achievable, relevant, time frame, something like that. Anyway, there's like a better way to do it. So when I try to like set goals, I'm not usually one to say air quotes set goals that much, but when I try to do it in like somewhat of I think about that idea. So I didn't say like eat healthy. I said like string together a few healthy meals. Because what I normally do is I eat like trash. I eat like a trash raccoon, and then once in a while I'll have a salad, and I'm like, ooh, look at me, I'm fit bod. But I think what a better approach, and I've never been one to like stick to a diet and then have like a cheat day. I think that just like makes me feel too weird.
Ooh, but I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. But anyway, so what I'm saying is I maybe like, instead of like having crap and then a surprise healthy meal, maybe like have healthy and then like a surprise crap meal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't need like a cheat day, like Sunday's my day, blah, blah, blah. But maybe it's like, okay, I've had 7 or 8 healthy meals in a row. Maybe now I can do something crappy. And I think that's sort of a goal of mine.
So you want lights out again. You want the outlier to be the burger, not the salad.
Right. Which is definitely, I think it's way more doable than I thought. Because a lot of times when I eat crappy, it's ease. It's like I haven't thought of something. I haven't planned dinner. It's like, oh shoot, it's already like I'm already starving. Now I'm screwed. Whatever, screw it. I'll just go to get a Burger King or whatever. Whereas if I have things, if I've planned a little bit ahead, like if I have some pre-made Tupperware meals or whatever in the fridge, or if I have salad stuff in the fridge, something I can make, then I'm way more inclined. Because for me, the easiest and quickest way for me to fall off the wagon, if we're doing this metaphor, is not having prepared it, and the decision fatigue and the fatigue of the day and all this other stuff. But
decision fatigue is like huge for me, and that's why I just eat the same thing, but I figured out what that should be for me, and then I can stick to it and not have to think about it. So it's interesting that you talk about your resolution, your goal, but really what you're saying is a system. So a goal would be like, I want to lose 5 pounds, or I want to be 5 pounds thinner. That'd be awesome. And that's usually what people do, set a goal. But now you've drilled down even further and made a system, which I think is way better. The guy who
it's like the underlying idea. Like maybe I will lose, maybe my goal was to lose 5 pounds, and following the system, I will lose 5 pounds. But my goal isn't really to lose 5 pounds. It's to have a system. Yeah, exactly.
To have a system. But I think you could drill down even further on your system and not just say, I want to eat healthy all these times in a row, but like set the goal to make those meal prep and figure out what will get rid of the decision fatigue for you, and figure out what those meals are, so it's not even work to eat those meals all in a row.
Like when I'm going to meal prep, what I'm going to do.
Yeah. You should set up a system of how that's going to be easy for you, instead of thinking like, try and get these meals in a row. Figure out what the system is to help you do that easily.
I like that.
So figure out what the meals are that you will be eating.
One problem I have is that I can eat the same thing over and over and over again. And I can even, further than that, I can eat the same bland thing over and over and over again.
Sure.
Brittany hates eating leftovers. She hates eating repeating meals. She hates eating even quote unquote boring things. Yeah. So I'm in a real pickle. How do you that's a question, an interesting question, I think, is like, if you're in a couple or in a family even, like how do you eat healthy, or how do you not eat the same thing that everybody else is eating, or how do you not eat the same thing that your partner's eating, or like what if you are super fit and your partner's like a fat slob? We can only hope. Or vice versa. Do you know what I mean? Or like what if your partner's like being really like strict about her diet, and then you're like remember we had what's her name, the CrossFit couple, and he was the coach, and they were talking about like she's super disciplined and he isn't. Like that blew my mind on so many levels. Like, one, how are you keeping your discipline when your partner's just like slobbing around? 2, how are you being a slob when your partner's like crunching down salads?
You're heavily influenced by what you're surrounded by.
Bonkers. Maybe so. That's another one. I don't know what to do about that.
That's tough. Nor do I have advice for it, because like I don't feel like I have that problem. I fast until like late in the evening, and I'll take lunch meetings and just have like decaf coffee. So maybe the other person is like wildly uncomfortable while I watch them chew, but it's fine with me. I just like don't consume the way that they do, and it seems to work, at least in that scenario.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I think the pre-made That's a good idea. Pre-made meals, having them already ready to go. Because then it's like, hey babe, this is my lunch. I'll see you at dinner. If you want one of these boring, bland meals, you're more than welcome to them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're on your own. I think if you maybe I'll try to just like prepare myself and by extension her for my already decided lunch.
So, well, yeah, does she like yield to you ever when you're like, we're blending chicken breast and drinking a chicken shake?
First of all, no one should ever do that ever again, including and especially me. I am so sorry I ever told you that because
I bring it up all the time. And
it's horrifying, and you bring it up all the time, and I've like sneaky blocked it out for myself, and then every time I remember like choke gagging on the blender.
For anybody who doesn't know, Max a few times has blended up chicken breast because he couldn't get enough protein, and his jaw hurt. This was during his wrestling days.
I was like chewing too much, and I thought it was cool. It wasn't. I didn't really need to do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have like jaw arthritis or anything. I was just like, oh, that'd be sick. It was more of like,
great choice.
Like, yo, check this out. And it was a huge backfire, and I would caution anyone.
Okay.
Definitely don't do it.
Well, anyway, so Brittany's not cool with you eating healthy if she's going to Burger King or whatever.
I don't know. I feel bad about doing it because I feel like I'm being rude to her. And also, we're sort of both on this thing where, like, if we do something, like if she finishes a shoot and she's exhausted, she'll stop at Taco Bell or whatever. And then if I finish something and I'm exhausted, I'll get a Burger King. And then, like her inkling of wanting to eat healthy doesn't always line up with mine and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so then, like, if I even had a minuscule bit that like I wanted to be healthy tonight, and she comes home with Taco Bell, or I come home with whatever, vice versa, then it you know what I mean? It's like an extra layer of not temptation, but like away from away from your plan.
Yeah, right. The inertia. That's always trying
because it is. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is it's easier not to eat healthy. I mean, not only because it's good, but also because the food industry is like evil. You know what I mean? Like the sugar industry, it's like they've made it about as easy as it can possibly be to get crap food as fast as you want.
Yeah.
So it does feel like you're sort of pushing a boulder up the hill constantly. So
unless you can make it a habit and make the healthy food easier than the fast food decision.
Yeah, well, if it's in the fridge, the shadow.
You should just leave it.
If it's in the fridge, and I got those, the thing is though that I really do like how I feel if I eat like a majority green meal, salad, vegetable, whatever. I do actually tangibly feel better very quickly. It's not like I don't need a week of eating healthy to feel good. It's two meals.
Feedback. That's awesome. You should have zero trouble eating healthy then.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, stringing a couple of meals together, or making the healthy meal, making the non-healthy meal the outlier, having a system in there for my meal prep. That's a good revolution. New Year's revolution.
Resolution. I guess my food resolution would be, I can't say it now because you messed with my head. Actually, I don't even like resolutions. I like making.
It is a revolution.
I'm morally against New Year's resolutions because everybody's doing it at the same time, and it just feels like you're setting yourself up to fail. And I don't know. And also, I don't want to wait till some outside source gives me the motivation to do something when I realize I need to make a change or want to improve something. I just do it right then. I make it that new moment resolution. Mm-hmm. Well, this one I've been working on it for months, ever since I started Levels, actually. Mm-hmm. I completely changed my diet with that. But the one thing that I can't fix is how late I eat. I want to eat earlier. I like it and I like how I feel, but I see what's happening on Levels and with my sleep. And I bet that I can really improve my sleep if I would just like stop eating a couple hours before I go to bed. But it's just like I always work so late and then just eat and sleep. And this has been a tough one for me to break. It's like I have such a hard habit of doing that I can't get out of it. And I know it will make a big difference in how I feel and how I perform. So there we go.
Why did you start eating so late?
I finally discovered that breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, and I didn't need to be miserable grazing all day. I hated it when I was eating, snacking in small meals, what I thought was conventional wisdom. And someone told me I didn't have to eat breakfast, which I never wanted to anyway. I was always forcing it. It was awesome. And then I felt awesome. And so I didn't eat till noon, and then started working out at the end of my fast and started working out later and later. So now it's 4, break my fast at 6, and now I'm working out at 6, break my fast at 8, and now I just kept pushing that window later and later because I feel great fasted from the morning.
And if you start eating, are you more inclined to snack afterwards?
Absolutely. Yeah. Eating makes me hungry and also unfocused. I'll have lunch, and then between lunch and dinner, I won't get much work done because all I'm thinking about is dinner. And it's really rewarding, just like finish all my work and then eat my meal, lay around and go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's another part of it. I get rewarded for this. And so
it's like a reward.
Yeah.
That's a TikTok reference.
Is it? I'm not scrolling through my For You often enough, I guess.
Interesting.
But I feel like
and
I've
then
stalled
do you
on
feel
adding
like
muscle.
Fat and happy, like lying down after your evening meal?
Yeah, and that's a part of it too. Like carbs will make you sleepy, right? So that helps. Although I'm sleeping while my body's digesting, and I'm mad to have learned this, but rest and digest versus fight or flight, these are two different things, right? We always hear about that. But you can't actually rest and digest at the same time. So while I'm digesting, my body's like not really resting as well as it could. And
that was always one. I was surprised. I mean, obviously it's easy to fall asleep when you're full, but I always sort of likened it to falling asleep when you're hammered drunk. Like, yeah, you can fall asleep pretty quick, but it's not like, I never felt restful sleep if I ate a huge meal and passed out. It felt like my body, like on Thanksgiving or Monday morning or whatever. I never felt like rested after I woke up from those food coma naps or whatever. So
right. So I take a food coma nap every night for the past 3 years.
But the problem is, that is a big problem, that once you eat, you're snacky again. I know exactly what you mean. A lot of times for wrestling and stuff, when we would like, you can't eat dinner, we would just go to bed. So I would start going to bed at like earlier, like the opposite of what you did. I would just start going to bed earlier and earlier because I was so hungry. I was like, well,
let's just make it tomorrow. Although then you wake up not hungry, which is like a great feeling.
But the other thing is, I guess what I'll say is, one thing I did learn about starving yourself. Again, I have like this very weird, very specific body of knowledge about self-starvation, which is so bizarre. But if you can, if you get hungry and you're like freaking out because you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't eat, you can, it's a wave. The hunger wave will pass. It just sucks, and it doesn't feel like it ever will. And sometimes it's so intense, you have to like go to bed. But it is a wave.
Time slows down.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you figure out, maybe you eat a little bit earlier. Maybe just don't eat right before bed. Maybe you eat like late afternoon, like a regular dinner time, and then you're still up for a while. So you sort of have to fight the hunger fight a little bit, but you don't have to fight it starting at noontime or whatever.
And I think maybe that hunger fight will be different now that I'm eating differently after using levels. Continuous glucose monitor, if anybody is just joining us, we've both watched our blood sugar and like edited our diet based on that. So I'm thinking maybe if I eat to keep my blood sugar level, then I won't get like a drop and feel hungry or crappy. I don't know. Level fun. But the goal is to like slowly creep it up.
Or is level is the goal, right? Or you're just trying to like, you're just trying to keep everything level. Too bad they didn't call
stay
it
low and level.
straight line. I guess level is probably better. Balance.
Straight line. I can't tell if you're joking. It actually sounds like you're talking through that. Like what?
Flat lining. Let's call it flat lining. Let's call it levels. Yeah. You're right.
And there's that whole thing about protein window, which I want to throw away as bro science, or not protein window. The fact that you can only take like 40 grams of protein, your body can only absorb that in one sitting. I think that might be kind of true, and I should be spreading my protein out throughout the day too, especially because I'm trying to bulk. I'm also saying this because I just did a scan after trying to bulk for years, and I lost weight again. God, every woman on the planet is mad at me.
The windows, I don't know. I sometimes I have a tough time thinking about stuff like that, or I get bogged down in stuff like that. Like earlier, geez, I guess it was a year ago now when I was going to the gym consistently when gyms were open. R.I.P. I felt really good. I was in a really good groove. I was making massive gains. I looked significantly better in my eyes. Real, imagined, doesn't matter. I saw it. So.
Sure.
And I was having a protein shake first thing in the morning. Now, is that the best time for protein? No. Is that, I was going to work out. It's like sort of in the late afternoon after lunch. Is that like a good time for protein when it comes to your workouts? No. It probably wasn't even a good time in life to have like a bunch of pro. But the difference was I was getting it, and I think when people like get down to the nitty gritty about, or when I get like too bogged down in details on stuff, sometimes I have to take a step back and be like, whoa, dude, like doing something right is better than doing nothing perfectly. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
but I kind of want to be like, I don't want to humble flex here, but like I am to that point where I need to dial it in with my diet. I'm not like eating burgers ever or whatever. Like the only change I can make is now to this tiny little change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like everything is in freaking line for me.
Yeah.
I mean, of course I went nuts on my birthday like a couple weeks ago, but otherwise.
But yeah, like a whole beer.
An entire beer.
One of those pitch black beers that you like drinking.
It's so good. I did too. I was pouring it out. I go, oh my God, it looks like oil. Sludge. Like, this is a beautiful. I don't remember what beer it was, but yeah, you know me. You got my.
It's probably a porter or a stout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I say is if
for average listener, don't listen to me. It doesn't freaking matter. Have your protein whenever, but maybe make it step towards more protein.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like step in your appropriate direction. If you are locked in, then like a tiny little change will have a big sort of leverage on you. But
yeah, and this is a big change. I mean, I know it seems like not much of a difference or whatever, but like for my body, that's a huge step in a different direction that I'm not used to.
Yeah, it's a big change.
So we'll see.
All right, my second one. You ready?
Yeah.
I haven't really thought this one through, but something, either a muscle up or a handstand or something
backflip.
Physical that's very impressive for Instagram.
Don't we all want to look awesome on Instagram? Let me just step to my second one. It is a muscle up, handstand, and backflip to look cool on Instagram.
But isn't that funny? Like I think of I know a couple people spring to mind. Scott and Demi, they do that.
Yeah.
Scott does that stupid push-up, arms forward.
It's not stupid. It's so cool. Talking about Scott Matheson, go find him on Instagram. He does incredible acrobatic things with his body.
Yeah, but like that's his thing. I'm like, oh, here he goes. He's gonna do that stupid push. Yep, there it is. And then I'm thinking like, man, that's actually not that stupid. That's kind of cool.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off in your story. Absolutely. Yeah. And that that he does it so effortlessly. Like, I don't know, the average person scrolling through their feed though sees that and they're like, okay, cool. But if you ever try and do that Superman push-up, it's impossible. I'm a strong
It's pretty
person.
hard.
It is not
It's
possible
significantly
to fly
harder
above
than
the
it
ground.
looks.
He looks like he's got a harness on, someone pulling him up.
Yeah. So I don't know if and then Brittany can do that one where she like puts her foot straight up in the air. That's bonkers.
Super cool. Yeah, she's
and then
fly
obviously
on Instagram.
Some lifters do like cool Olympic lifts. That's sort of along those lines.
Sure.
Bag was doing all those backflips and back handsprings and all that stuff. I'm not really sure what mine's going to be because I've never been overly gymnastic, I guess.
Sure.
I always felt like I was pretty good in a couple of things, but I had a good body awareness.
Well, you do need a little bit of like overhead mobility, but you could backflip. We should learn together.
Yeah.
So this actually was, again, an old resolution that I bought a bunch of like a set of personal training from a circus school. And I went to my first lesson got to the point, like in one lesson, got to the point of doing like an assisted backflip.
Uh-huh.
And then COVID hit like a week later. So, and I bought this package thinking like, it's going to take me forever. I'm going to suck at this for a while and probably hurt my neck a couple times.
Yeah.
So I will get back to that. This was for a YouTube video too. So I shot my lesson and I plan on doing that, but I don't know. Do you know Tom Goss?
There's that video of the guy learning the backflip in one day. That's always, that was like super inspiring.
But he taught himself too.
Yeah. And he said, the coolest thing was he said, you should go find this video on YouTube. The guy learns how to do a backflip in one day. And he does
using
a time lapse
mattress.
of it. He just has the mattress behind him. He's in his backyard and he just does backflip and backflip and backflip. And he figures it out.
He invents the backflip, right? No one teaches him, but he figures out the mechanics of it as he's doing it.
Yeah. And it was fun. So it was fun to see him learn it in a day. It was fun to see him teach it to himself completely.
Yeah.
It was really fun at the end. He was like, yeah, the biggest block at the end of the day was like my own mental block of being scared to throw my feet back or scared to commit fully to whatever. And that was really cool too. That's a cool thing. So I don't know if my backflip is in my future, but something cool looking.
Handstand's cool too.
Handstand's pretty cool.
It's been on my list for a while, but I finally set up a system over the past month or so. I spend about 20 minutes twice a week working on my handstand. So now I just know that I'll get it, right? I already have the system. It's a habit. Like handstand is in my hands. That's the beauty of systems, not goals.
What do you work on? You just try to do it? Are you doing it against the wall?
Both freestanding and against the wall and whatever. I also took a class at that same circus school and get some pointers, but really it is just like, you just got to get used to it. Muscle up. I've been working on that one too, because I finally have my first ring pull up and like full ring dipped. So the only thing left is the transition, which is just sort of like falling forward, but like incredibly hard falling forward.
Yeah. Fall as hard as you can. I'm
talking about strict. You're supposedly because I learned this in a CrossFit L1 class. You're supposed to do strict before you ever do kipping muscle up, because you need to know the mechanics. Otherwise, you'll like tear your shoulder and stuff. So you should technically be able to do a strict muscle up before you ever kip. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about that. That seems impossible.
Seems impossible, but like if you have a ring pull up and you have a ring dip, all you got to do is figure out how to do a false grip. I think that's what it's called. There's a special type of grip.
Yeah.
So that you're pulling up like this, and then you get
I think so, but it's a big move. It's a gymnastic move. That's like saying like I can jump and I can lie on my belly so I can do a backflip. Like there's that part in the middle where you're actually doing something pretty crazy.
Well, I got a year to do it. We'll check in.
I like that. Muscle up. I can't even like think of other ones. Muscle ups are a big one.
The Superman push-up. That's one you could do. I've seen you already fly in the air on that Instagram you did where you were like floating.
Oh yeah, that was really funny. That one was fun too. Yeah, but that's not me. I want it to be more something like I do.
You're gonna make up your own.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. I want to make up my own, or like pull something from me. Like I wouldn't want to do I wouldn't want to be able to like stand on point like a ballerina, because I'd be like, yeah, but why are you doing that?
For Instagram, duh. You seen that dude with a beard on point? I would follow that.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that leads into my next one a little bit, which was again, this one's kind of tricky because it's a little bit out of my hands, but I wanted to wrestle a little bit more. Now, until we get past this COVID pandemic or whatever, it's going to be pretty hard to wrestle with some people.
Oh, you don't have the remote wrestle app?
Yeah, the Oculus thing, and just like one of those practice dummies falls on you. You're like, but I used to go to, there was like open mats. Wrestling's hard because I have told you this before, but wrestling's hard because it's not like you sort of go down to the playground and there's a basketball hoop and you're like, hey man, do you want to play 2-on-2 or whatever? It's like, you can't just be like, hey dude, do you want to wrestle? I used to be able to do that back in Massachusetts. I'd go down to Harvard a lot and do that, but I don't have any sort of relationship with the school here, and also I just don't know anybody here. But I used to go to Santa Monica. We had open mats, and we could do that a lot, and that was really fun, and I liked it a lot. And I'd like to get back into that.
Jiu-jitsu class or any sort of like martial arts like that?
There's overlap with judo and jiu-jitsu, and that's something I've played around with a little bit. They are different sports, so it's as much as some stuff translates, a lot of other stuff I'm just like doing the exact wrong thing sometimes. So that way it's fun, and I have thought about that a little bit because it's like a nice little substitute, I guess. But I'd really like to get back to what I was doing, kind of. And
what's the skill level at Santa Monica?
It was all over. It was like high school kids who were just learning, and so I would show people some stuff. And then it was all the way up to guys going to the U.S. Open. So it was pretty intense, and it was dudes like MMA dudes who wanted to like work on their wrestling. So they were really, really athletic and in like really tip-top shape, but maybe they didn't know this wrestling sport specifically that well. So you could sort of hang, or I could hang quite well. But yeah, guys are going to that was the worst, was then I was rolling wrestling with some dudes like, cool, so you see you in Vegas next week? I'm like, we're going to Vegas? What's up? And they're like, US Open, you're going, right? And I was like, oh, no, I thought you meant to, no.
That's awesome.
So it was fun and
flattering. Yeah,
absolutely flattering. But I'm not like trying to go to Vegas for an open tournament. I'm trying to go to Vegas to like pop bottles.
Are there women that do wrestle at Santa Monica too?
Yeah, there was two. There was a couple girls. They were really quite good. There's one high school girl who was like really, really good.
Wow. So if I went knowing nothing, that would be a bad idea.
Well, that was the other part of the New Year's Revolution, was that I wanted to drag you to a practice and make you like throw you in with the Sharks and just like see what happens. It's hard. I brought one of my friends to practice one time, and he loved it. Yeah. He was terrible, but he loved every second of it, and I highly recommend it to anyone.
You don't need to prove to me how hard it is. I totally believe you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I fully believe this is impossible. Do I have to starve before I go?
Yeah.
Chug a chicken shake and then not eat your base. Shake.
Well, you just gotta clip your fingernails, but I mean, I don't think that's I think it's right up your alley there.
Guitaring and such.
What is that, a sitar?
On my list. Gonna learn the sitar this year. No, not really. All right, my next one is I don't know. I have a new training program. That's not really a resolution.
Revolution.
How did you do this to me? I'm never going to be able to say resolution again. But
we went to a Pitbull revolution, right?
Yeah, we did. On New Year's.
It was Pitbull's New Year's revolution. That's why I say that.
Huh. That's what you get. That was forever ago. How many years?
Yeah, that was fun.
Crazy.
So you got a new program. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. So what was I doing? Oh, I was doing like a hybrid program right before COVID where it was weightlifting, like Olympic lifting and some accessory work. So bodybuilding, and there was some powerlifting in there. And I started it because I wanted to kind of do all of that, which makes me wonder, actually, do I just like suck at everything because I'm doing all of it? So then COVID hit. I couldn't do any of that because all I had was a squat rack, but like a lot of weight. So I started doing just powerlifting, and I followed a powerlifting program until basically now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now going to transition out of that. I've been doing some bodybuilding for the past couple of weeks, but I'm signing up for a personal trainer with Kabuki. Yeah.
Whoa.
No, cool. They sucked me in. So we had Chris Stefan on for an episode. And then I spoke with one of his personal trainers, and yeah, I'm going to start their program and get like monthly schedules from them. And I think the biggest, coolest part will be sending in videos of my form, because I know that I suck, and they're going to help me. Like, I think I'll move a ton more weight just once I start getting better mechanics. I don't mean I suck that badly. I like got to the point where I am and hit a wall because of mechanics, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's a big part of it, is once you fix your mechanics, you'd be surprised by how much easier it is to pick up the weight, how much faster the weight moves, how much smoother it feels.
Yeah.
And that'll go a long way. And a lot of times you can't see it. Like it takes someone sort of looking from right. Observing you to point something out. Like, like your butt bounces right before you do your deadlift, right? Or whatever. And you're like, shoot, no, I didn't.
Right.
And then that makes a huge difference, but you'd never, ever notice it.
And you can watch so many videos on form, but like you maybe don't have the proprioception to realize, just, put your butt down and don't let it bounce.
Right.
Whatever.
Or like you put your camera one place always.
Yeah.
And then like if someone stood in a slightly different place, they're like,
well, and that's a part of it too, because I see the camera and I go, oh man, I'm like falling forward here, but I don't know how to stop that, right? I don't know how to like engage the right muscles to not fall forward. And a part of this is that my knee hurts, and you've heard me complain about it on a lot of episodes. And I think it has to do with like my poor squat mechanics. So that actually is my goal for the new year, fitness wise, is to make my knee stop bothering me. And I think that's
a good one. My knee hurts too, but I never I don't know what's wrong with it.
It's actually gotten a little better after I stopped powerlifting, so I think it definitely has something to do with that. So
that's good.
If I fix that.
Do you do any sort of like knee exercises? Knee specific?
That's another thing. I suck at warming up, although since we had Kelvin Gary on, I started doing clamshells. Yeah. Because I never activate my butt, and now at least I'm starting to feel more butt. So that's good. And I think that's like...
That's a good resolution. Feel more butt.
Feel more butt.
Feel as much butt as you possibly can.
Tony Gentlecore, too. He was
handfuls
on feeling it in the butt.
Yeah.
But yeah, then talking to Nate. Geez, this is just like a year-end recap of all the people we talked to. This is amazing. Talking to Nate, the chiropractor, Nate Lazinski, like that also made me realize that like the muscles around my leg are pulling in the wrong directions too much or too little to mess with my knee. And so I got to work on mobility too.
And the stuff you can do, especially because you have that squat rack with your rubber bands. If you have any bands, you can sort of put them like around your calf and around the rack, and then you like sort of extend your leg. It's like it's not mobility, it's stabilization-ish.
Yeah, activation, stabilization.
But that stuff goes a long way. It's like I remember when I messed up my shoulder, those rubber bands, just those rotator cuff exercises, you don't feel like you're doing anything at all. You know what I mean? And it like at the end of your workout, you feel like 5 times stronger. It's crazy.
Pretty solid.
That's cool. You're doing the strict form though. You should send it to Brian too. Brian Borstein. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like, you should do those those slow ring pull-ups he does on Instagram.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm always like dropping as fast as possible so I can get more reps in because I want to best myself from last week. But
he's talking about a slow, controlled, like.
And he's like,
I don't know why it makes that sound, but
it does. It definitely does. Man. But I feel like I've hit a wall, and this is like my next step to really dial it in. I'm not paying for gym membership anymore, so I figure this. My body deserves it. Membership. At least my knee deserves it. Actually, this is cheaper than a CrossFit membership. When it comes to getting a CrossFit membership in LA, I'm better off getting a personal trainer. Remote coaching. Lord.
That nuts.
Yeah.
I got a TRX for Christmas.
Oh, nice. Solid. So now you gotta work on that back.
I'm gonna work on a program for that. I think that's my next revolution. Figure out how to use that and figure out a good. I don't know if it's splits or what kind of but I'd like to be able to use it as much as I can. Because it is versatile. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
Push-pull legs, is I'm guessing would probably be best for that.
What's that?
Do like a push-pull leg split?
Push-pull legs, yeah. I feel like I can figure out a lot of weird stuff I can do with it.
Well, core too, because you can like hang your feet and like
you can hang quite a bit, and the straps can sort of shift. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, man, I could do pull-ups. Oh wait, I could do like arm pull-ups, like arm chugs. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I can do a lot of weird stuff with that, and I'm excited to figure out something to do with my
solid
TRX.
Is it closing the door?
They close in the door, but I'm trying to figure out a spot on my porch where I can just drill like an eye ring into the ceiling and just hang it from there, because I really like it. I find that it's a lot more, I don't know, it just like feels better when it's hanging from above you versus when it's even leaning into a wall.
Sure, totally.
In like a doorway.
Solid.
I remember I went to it's kind of a weird story, but I went to a burlesque show called, I forget what it was called, but it was crazy rock and roll burlesque. It wasn't like it was like like crazy rock, as hard rock that there is. And,
I love that you use the fans, the feather fans. I know exactly what's going
burlesque. Little Miss Nasty, that's what it was called. Okay. And anyway, and they're doing stuff like they're dancing on the bar like Coyote Ugly, but they're also like clipping their knees on like the pull-up bar, like above the bar, and they're upside down. Like it's crazy. Also, they're like almost butt-ass naked, which is crazy too. And then at one point, she like grabs like a strap from the ceiling and like pulls herself up. And I said audibly, I didn't mean to say this out loud, but I was like, "Oh, she's got a TRX." And like the whole table around me started like cracking up laughing. I was like, did I say that out loud? Sorry, stupid. So anyway, I feel like the TRX has a lot of interesting applications that I could really take advantage of. So
and train, then go audition.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll be the the relief.
That was on my list too. Actually, that was the reason that I started getting into like more calisthenic type of things, because I would see the people dancing at the Abbey. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I want to be able to do that. And
they dance on the Abbey, but they'd like also like dance on they'd have a vertical pole and a horizontal pole.
Yeah.
And then like a couple do those crazy stripper flag, like quote unquote stripper moves. Flag. But guess what? They're incredibly hard.
Flag.
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe I'll write that down.
Dragonflies, I want to be able to do too. Man, I don't know if I'd call that a year goal, because they are hard and they don't even look that cool once you do them. Once you get them, it's like,
cool.
Yeah, but in general, I just want to like. The reason I'm also getting coaching instead of making my own programming now is because I want to work smarter, not harder. I like push like 2+ hours in the gym every day, and I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this, especially if you're talking to Brian Borstein, where he's like, don't like leave 2 reps in reserve. I'm like, what? You don't have to collapse after every set? You're not supposed to collapse.
But he does.
After?
His form is perfect. I mean, you've seen his Instagram. His form is absolutely perfect every time. And I think once he starts losing form at all, that's when he's done, which is a really interesting way to do it. I've never in my life heard of that before. It's always, it's always me and my bros at the gym being like, come on, you can push it once more. And I bounce the barbell off my chest as, give myself crack my own sternum real quick. And it like ricochets up or whatever. But he's like, he's about as perfect form as there is. It's really sort of fun to watch. It's fun to play around with. That's a good one too. Play around with that.
I'm glad I'm just getting another opinion besides like either Googling or
another informed specific
specifically for me too.
Specific opinion,
because I've paid for programming before, but it's also like generalized for everyone. This will be very much for me when they're like, hey, I know that my knee comes in too whenever I squat, so like they're gonna help me build up that side so that I can stay even. I think that'll be a part of it. I don't know, we'll see. I'm stoked. Stoked for you and your straps.
My straps.
Whatever, gyms are gonna open at some point, right? That maybe the end of this year, maybe after, I'm gonna guess May.
Yeah. I'll guess before or after June. April, May, June. Yeah, before or after June.
Before.
I'm gonna say after. $5.
Okay. There we go. Check in.
That sucks after June. Ugh.
There's still plenty.
Hopefully everybody will leave my park, stop working out in my park all the time.
There's still push-ups.
Yeah. Now there's going to be TRX push-ups. Watch out. There you go.
Hey, get that core.
And my last one was record myself doing that stupid 7-minute Tabata video. That's what I wrote down word for word. So if you look up 7-minute Tabata, somebody made a song, and it goes like, doom, doom, doom. All right, welcome to the 7-minute workout. Doom, doom. We're doing push-ups in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then and then he goes, and stop. Sit-ups are next in 3, 2, and it's a song, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I've seen like literally 15 or 16 fitness influencers, fitness personalities do a video to that song and be like, look at this workout I made up. And I'm like, you didn't make it up. A, some guy made it up. B, you're stealing the song. C, you're all doing the same exact workout. And why the hell am I watching your video? I should just make my own video. This is ridiculous. I'm so stupid. So I want to record myself doing that 7 minutes about a video, workout video, because it is a really good workout. It's quick, 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough.
I usually do it 2 or 3 times, but 7 minutes is a good like. I don't have any time. I just need to do something real quick. Bam, done. You know what I mean? And then you play it back as many times as you need. But 3 rounds is pretty tough. I mean, if you do it right in a row.
Sure. One Tabata.
It's
that's 4 minutes, right?
I mean, you don't even need to watch the video. That's the stupidest part. I found the song on SoundCloud. I'm like, wow, I just went super efficient.
If you need a producer, I'll help you. I'll help you make a beat. We'll drop
I can't.
Well,
that's the one thing is, one, I want to record myself doing that song so I can jump on the bandwagon, and 2, I want to make my own song.
Yeah.
So screw these guys. They don't even make a song. Stupid.
I like it. I approve. Yeah. Let me know I can help.
Tabata. You can help me figure out how to auto-tune myself.
Easy.
Wiki, herpes.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck to us, I guess. We should check in December next year.
December.
Let us know. Oh yeah, in the comments on YouTube. I want to know what all your listeners are all. Did we inspire you at all? Did you already have stuff? Are you giving up already because of my negativity about making resolutions in general?
Or do you have suggestions for us to resolutions that maybe we should take into account, like shave that dumb beard, or
hey, I love my beard.
Be flexible enough so that you can put your arms over your head. That's a new one.
Yeah,
Notice I didn't write down stretch.
Stretch.
It's a lost cause.
Can't make that habit. Man, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I want to know if you are the type of person, like the type of listener we were talking about, that's either needs to just take a step in the right direction, or are dialing things in, or somewhere in between. I feel like we don't hear enough from you guys, so let us know.
Where are you guys at?
That's my revolution for Fitheads in the new year. Is I want to hear more from you guys and be connected to our Fithead universe. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
All right, sweet. And thanks. We will see you next week.